Hello YouTube chess lovers, my friends, this is Gunjan here. Welcome to the 23rd episode of my chess trap series. In this episode, I'm going to show you a wonderful high profile trap in the Bogo-Indian from the black perspective. The opening arises after the following move order: d4, knight to f6, c4, e6, and many white players hate to play against Nimzo-Indian. So the other option white is having here is knight to f3, completely avoiding Nimzo-Indian theory. Well, guess what? We are going to play bishop to b4 check anyways and enter into the Bogo-Indian territory. Now here, if white continue with knight to c3, then the position will be transposed into the Nimzo-Indian. So accordingly, there are two best choice here for the white: either bishop to d2 or knight b to d2. We are going to concentrate on the move bishop to d2, which in fact highestly played move in this position, and against this black will continue with queen to e7, so supporting the bishop. And we reach to the critical position where if you check this position in online database, you will find out that g3 has been highestly played move apart from any other moves. And in fact, it is a logical move because after the move g3, white simply wants to play bishop to g2 and quickly castle on the king side, where he has a good space in the center. No matter, we are going to play knight to c6. And once again, we reach to the crossroad where white has two major choices: either to play knight to c3 or the move bishop to g2. In this video, we are going to concentrate on the move bishop to g2. However, if your opponent plays knight to c3, then I have attached a sample line in the PGN which will give you a very good idea how to play such a position. Okay, bishop to g2, and now comes a very important move. Black should take this bishop and the trap is set right here. As you can see, I have highlighted by the arrows, white has two major choices. Amongst them, only one option is right. Can you guess the right choice? Well, if you choose the move queen captures d2, then congratulations, you straight away enter into the Bogo-Indian trap. Yes, right, so this is a completely wrong move which many times happen. And if you check this position in online database, you will find out that there are more than 300 games played from this position, including some world-class grandmasters. Now, before we look at queen to d2 and the trap, there is one important point I like to highlight here, that after the move knight b to d2, we can simply continue with d6 e5 and black get a very reasonable game. For example, a sample line can goes like this: d6, castle on the king side, castle on the king side, e4, and now this thematic claim in the center, e5, which gives great game to the black, as after the mainline move d5, black can simply drop back the knight to the b8 square, and later on the knight can be rerouted to the good square c5, and the position resemble one of the King's Indian variation where dark square bishop has been exchanged. I have attached a model game where a 2600 GM simply crushed a 2500 GM in 23 moves. So kindly go through it. Now let's see what happens if your opponent continue with queen captures d2, which is more natural as white knight wants to go to the c3 square. But the problem with this move is, after the move knight to e4, however white plays, he get a lost position. The queen has been attacked, More than 90% of the game continues with queen to c2, which in fact, as per the engine, best move in this position. But now comes this lethal check, which completely shatters winning dream for the white camp. Well, if white continues with king to f1, then this rook will not see a daylight for a while. So obviously, let's see what happens if white try to block the check. The first move I want to consider is knight f2 d2, which is a kind of a logical move as white is unleashing the attack to the e4 knight. But now you will see the importance of playing the move knight to c6, as black can simply capture on d4. And the best move here for the white is to play queen to c1 and accept that he lost a pawn for nothing. In one online blitz game, my opponent continues with queen captures e4, which at first sight looks so tempting, but after the move queen captures b2, it is very obvious that white is going to lose an exchange just within 10 moves of the game. If knight to c3, then knight to c2 check is a very strong reply. So in the game, my opponent continues with castle on the king side. But after queen captures a1, there is no way white can trap that queen on a1, as queen can easily come out. And no matter however white plays, with accurate play, black should win this game. The second move I want to consider is knight b to d2, which in fact look more natural in this position. But after knight captures d2, white is having a great difficulty as he simply cannot capture this knight with his own knight as the d4 pawn hangs. And if he continue with queen captures d2, then black can simply capture on c4 and emerge with an extra pawn. Last but not least, what happens if white continues with knight to c3? Well, here the obvious choice is you should capture on c3, and white has to capture with the queen, otherwise the c4 pawn will drop. So queen captures c3, and after queen captures c3 and b captures c3, this time around black is not a pawn up, but this double pawn is almost a great disaster for the white, as black can easily exploit in the middle game, where on the counterpart, white doesn't have any weaknesses to attack. Now in case if you don't know how to exploit these weaknesses, let me show you a sample line. Black should start with the move d6, controlling the c5 square, and after the obvious move castle, we should immediately get out of that long diagonal with rook to b8. Black's simple idea is to target the c4 pawn. So let's say after the move rook to b1, we can immediately attack the c4 with knight to a5. And after the only move knight to d2, we can play the move b6. And as you can see, I have highlighted by the arrows, bishop to a6 is coming very quickly. And after that, white will have a very hard time to defend the c4 pawn. Just to highlight how quickly this c4 pawn can be vanished, if white continues with the natural moves such as e3, then we can play the move bishop to a6, attacking twice on c4, and after the only response rook to b4, black has this star move. Yup, it's d5, exploiting the pawn and winning the pawn in a broad daylight. That's it guys, I hope you learn and enjoy this wonderful trap in the Bogo-Indian. Remember that if your opponent continues with queen captures d2, then punish him with this move order knight to e4, queen to c2 and this lethal check, which in fact in all the lines gives black a great winning chances. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll meet you in my next episode very soon. Bye and take care.